Life as a man is hard. We're naturally competitive. And because of that, we're too hard on ourselves. And when we look at everyone around us, everyone's in a relationship, they're getting married, starting a family. Everyone seems to be having fun, have a lot of friends, and a good career. And we wonder, when are we going to get our life together? Because everyone seems like they have their life together. And I think because of our competitive nature, when we feel down about not being at where everyone else is, that feeling is magnified. And I think a lot of that comes from our instinct to survive. Because life as a man is hard. Because the top men get all the girls. And when we're average, it's hard to compete. It's hard for girls to even look at us. I think there's a lot of pressure for us to be successful. Because girls don't want to be with a guy that can't take care of them or the family. If we don't make enough money to provide, they don't really see much value in us. And we also have the pressure to approach and talk to a girl and might have to face rejection. And sometimes the overwhelming amount of rejections get to us. It brings our confidence down. It makes us feel like, what are we doing wrong? Why do no girls want me? And even if we're successful at the first approach and we're able to get a date, we as men are expected to pay on the first date. So that means we have to have money. If we're broke, if we don't have any money, I think society in general looks down on us. So if we're not able to pay on a first date, we're probably not going to get a second date. And sometimes we're expected to pay for every date, but I guess that depends on the relationship that you're in. But guys are expected to pay on dates, and it's generally viewed as being sweet. It's just something we're expected to do. And if we ever lose our job, our relationship might not work out. The marriage might not work out because of financial struggles. We have to be able to hold on to a job. And if we get laid off, we have to be able to get another job fast to be able to pay the bills. Most relationships fail because of financial struggles. And I feel like for us men, we feel responsible and we feel the pressure to achieve something for status and for wealth, because we have to be able to provide and take care of the family. And there's no room for error. If we're not able to provide financially, the relationship probably isn't going to work. People look down on us. And when there's high stress in the relationship because we're struggling to pay the bills or put food on a table, things start to get annoying. Little things. You start to argue more in the relationship because in a high stress environment, everything feels irritating. Everything seems annoying. So a lot of times we feel the pressure to fix everything. And if we're not able to get back on our feet, give it enough time and the relationship will end. I think that's just part of how we're programmed biologically. I think from the beginning of time, we're just expected to be capable. And if we're not, it's just something that's not acceptable. And sometimes people tell us that it's okay. And it sounds nice to make us feel like everything feels fine. But in reality, if we're not capable, everything falls apart. And no one's going to come to save us. Our relationship is going to fail. Friends will stop hitting you up because you don't have any money to go out. I think the world revolves around capable people and money. It almost feels like money rules the world because you need money for everything. You need money to survive. You need money to support a relationship, to support a family, even to support a friendship, because you need money to hang out with friends, to go to places. You need money to have fun, to go on vacation, to do the things you want to do, to have the financial freedom and freedom in general to do the things you want to do. Otherwise, you have to work all the time. I think a lot of men in general are just tired. We're tired of the expectations. We're tired of the societal pressure, things that are expected from us, the standard that we have to live up to. Everything feels like a competition. When you're looking for a job, you have to have the best resume. You have to have experience. A college degree is not enough without experience. When you want to get a girlfriend, you're competing with all the other men out there. You have to be good looking. Sometimes they want you to be 6 foot tall. You have to have money. You have to be able to take care of them. You have to be able to provide. And I think that plays a big part in why everyone wants to fit in. Everyone wants to have what everyone else has. A nice car, a big house. We all compare ourselves to people that have those things. Because life is all about status. When you have nothing, no one looks at you. No one even knows you exist. And I think that's a harsh reality that everyone knows, but not everyone accepts. I think the only good thing about where society is going is the fact that it's more accepting. And it does take a little bit more pressure off of us. But deep down, we still know that we're being judged based on our status, based on how we look, based on how much money we make, based on how many friends we have, based on our jobs, our career, if we're in a relationship. And because we're always comparing ourselves to everyone else, we feel the need to prove ourselves, even in the things that don't really matter, like buying luxury clothes even when we're broke, just to try to fit in. I feel like a lot of us, we do things that we don't really even like just to fit in. And sometimes it's because of our competitive nature. We wear certain brands to compete with each other, to feel like we have something better. But sometimes we don't even like what we wear. We only wear them because it's trendy. And I noticed that because a lot of the younger generation don't really like some of the brands that we grew up wearing. But if they grew up in our time, they would have liked the brands that we used to wear. It almost feels like everything we do is to try to fit in some way. Sometimes it feels like we can't even be ourselves. How many of us are really ourselves on the first date? Because a lot of times when we get comfortable in the relationship after the honeymoon phase, it's not really getting comfortable. It's who we really are. And that's why a lot of relationships don't work out. Because once you show who you really are, it starts to show that we don't really get along. How many of us are being who we are at a job interview? We have to put on a professional persona. You know, a lot of things that we talk about when it comes to acceptance and being who we are sounds nice, but sometimes it really does feel like we can't be who we are. I think a lot of that stems from us caring way too much. We try to impress people that don't really matter. We really just have to be ourselves. And the ones we truly get along with will stay. And that will filter out a lot of fake friends. And we won't get into relationships with people that we're not compatible with because we're ourselves at the beginning. I feel like we need to stop caring so much because it's a lot of pressure to care about everything. I think we just have to be ourselves and do the things that we want to do. Hang out with people that we truly want to hang out with, not just to fit in. Be in a relationship with someone that we're actually compatible with, not just to be in a relationship, not just to settle for what we think we can get, but be with someone that we're actually happy with. I feel like a lot of times we settle for things. We're friends with people we don't want to be friends with. We're in relationships that we're not actually happy in because we think we can't do any better. I feel like we settle for way too many things. When it comes to our job, when it comes to friends, when it comes to relationships, we need to start being more true to ourselves and work towards the things that we really deserve, things that are going to make us happy in the long term. We have to stop thinking about short-term happiness, chasing after pleasure rather than purpose. Pleasure doesn't get you that far. Think about all the cheaters in a relationship. They chased after pleasure and it ruined their relationship, it ruined their family, it ruined their life. They lost someone that truly cared about them. And there's not going to be many people that truly care about you in this world. So you have to keep those who truly care about you close to you, or you'll regret losing them. When you chase after purpose, things that truly matter, things that you really want to do in life because it gives you meaning, it gives you purpose. That's what gives you hope. That's what gives you the will to move forward in life and to achieve something. Because when we don't have purpose, we feel like we don't have meaning, and that makes us feel hopeless. And when we don't have hope, it's hard to move forward. It's hard to get our life together because we ask ourselves, what's the point? That's why we have to give ourselves hope by being true to ourselves and do things that we want to do, not things that other people want us to do, not to impress others, but to do things that we actually like. We have to stop caring about what other people think of us because it's not about what others think of you. It's what you think of yourself. Life is very difficult, but the more we focus on ourselves and be proud of the little victories along the way and build up our confidence, then we don't need other people's validation because we believe in ourselves, because we know our worth. No matter how hard life gets, we can't give up. We have to keep moving forward no matter what. We have to at least try. And when something doesn't work out, we have to try something else. No one's going to figure out anything for us. We have to figure it out ourselves. And we will, as long as we're persistent and be consistent, we will get to where we want to be.